And we're back, and it's another beer review with your host, this guy right here. It's been a weird day for me, you know. I've been dozing on and off all day. Went out for a little bit. Came back, was dozing on and off all day. Yeah, that was my day. Anyhow. Oh, we have a brewery today. This is, I get a yawn, so pardon me. Oh. Brewery that is 15 minutes away from my place. A brewery called Back East Brewery. I actually tried to get a job there once, and I didn't get it, whatever the reason was. Maybe next time, right? Anyhow, this is their beer. It is called Ex Machina, or Ex Machina, however you want to pronounce it. It is a Russian Imperial Stout. I'll get it up to the webcam up right there. You can take a whole good look at that. All right. I've had this before. I had this first at a Peach Place in West Harbor Center. Had it on tap. Thought it was pretty decent. Definitely thought the Back East was upping their game. I've had some of their beer beforehand. And honestly, I felt like Back East was not always up to par, to tell you the truth. But recently, some of their beers have been coming up to par, which is nice. There were long lines out the door at Back East for a beer called Ice Cream Man. I had that on tap at a place called Nolita, and I thought it was pretty good. It had a little bit too much rye for kind of my taste, but I thought they were getting there at least. And I at least think that this beer, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, pretty much is probably the best thing I've had from Back East. And we're going to crack it open and see how it does from the can. I've never had this from the can before, and we will see. So, I'm a little wet. Pour it into our trusty Borg beer glass. Not a great pour on my part, but I will let that settle down, and or I'll show it to the camera, I guess. And lots of head on that one. Head, give me some head. I remember this guy from the '90s. Al Snow, and that's what he would say. Head, give me some head. Well, this guy in ECW, and then he went to WWF, then E. Anyhow, lots of phony head on this one. It smells very roasty. Very, very roasty. I don't get much kind of like milk chocolate character on that, but very kind of roasted malt kind of taste. We'll try to get as much in here. It's only a 12-ounce can, but there's a lot of head on this one, so I guess I got to let it settle a little bit. That's kind of what it looks like. Here's what I look like. Ooh, yeah, sexy. Which is sexier, the beer or me? Don't answer that. I already know. It's me. Oh, yeah. And I'm not trying to sound narcissistic. I just know when I look good, you know? Yeah. All right, so let's just have it from the can a little bit that I got left in there, so. Yep. This Russian Imperial Stout was inspired by the gods, crafted by man and machine. When times are dark, this full-bodied beer arrives with a robust malt character. Ex Machina has only roasted notes, fruits of coffee and chocolate, and finishes with just the right amount of bitterness. Deus Ex Delicious. Tony and, is that Edward? I met Tony. He actually interviewed me when I went to Back East. Nice guy. He did like their marketing and stuff, and I guess the other guy was their brewer. And he seemed pretty nice, so the little taste that I just had tasted pretty decent. So we'll let that settle down and warm up a little bit, because Russian Imperials definitely taste a little different as they're warming up versus when they're cold. And I guess I'll pause the video and we'll get back to it in a little bit, okay? Cheers, guys. Back East, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, however you want to pronounce it. Hey, we're back. The Back East Ex Machina is warming up a little bit. We're going to see how it tastes. Here's what it looks like. The head has dissipated on the beer. A nice, very blackish brown kind of beer. And there's a little bit of head on there, but the ungodly big head, that's gone. It's still kind of on the cool side, but we'll see how it tastes as it warms up. So Yeah, I have another screen over here that you can't see. I'm watching the very first WWF, as it was called at the time, Royal Rumble. Jake the Snake was a big guy. They don't get big guys like that anymore, do they? Or they get kind of talentless big guys. I mean, like, what's his name? What's the guy's name who's in WWE right now? Jack. Whatever the fuck his name is. The guy's big. He's like 6'8", and he just has like no charisma. Or they won't let him have the charisma that maybe he does have, but I don't know. Anyhow, let's see how the beer tastes. Jack Swagger, that's his name. His WWE ring name. I don't know what his real name is. Anyhow, drinks pretty well. I get like a 68%, kind of dark chocolate, kind of like roasted character. It's not overly roasted like some stouts tend to be. Sometimes when I have a stout and all I taste is like a roasted kind of malt, that's actually a turn off for me. I like to taste the different flavors that are in the stout, and when it's just roasty, I don't like that. And this is not just roasty, so props to Back East for kind of upping their game and making something that tastes a little better. That's cool. I have this rated as a 3.75 and Untapped, and I'd agree with that right now. I feel the best beer, or the best Russian Imperial Stout out right now that I've had, at least locally, is going to be Imperial Stout Trooper by Nebco. That's New England Brewing Company, for all you people that are unfamiliar with the area. I think that Imperial Stout Trooper is a fantastic beer. Not quite a 5-star beer, like a 4.75 beer. I do not feel that Ex Machina is anywhere close to Imperial Stout Trooper. It's a good beer, but it's definitely not incredible by any means. Back East, though, is stepping up their game. Some beers I've had from them are just, yeah. Maybe they're good if you haven't had craft beer before, but for my palate, sorry guys, just being truthful. Anyhow, I'll update this when it's a little bit warmer, and I'll finish the beer. Cool, peace. Okay, so lastly, we're going to finish this beer off and see what it's like warm. Smells the same. Drinks a little easier when it's warm. I get definitely more of that roasted kind of character when it's warm. Overall, I say good attempt from Back East. Definitely they're upping their game. It's still not the quality of something like an Imperial Stout Trooper, but you're getting there, and it's definitely drinkable. It definitely has flavor. It's definitely not bad. 3.75, 3.8, 3.9, something bordering on a 4, but not quite a 4. That's kind of what I feel about this beer, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, by the Back East Brewery in Bloomfield, Connecticut. And that kind of concludes this review. Blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, I'm going to head off to bed. Peace, guys. Night-night.